Hello everyone, this is Tara with my second day at St. George with Donzer at the Colorado Horse Park. We got a lower score today, but I think it was a better ride, and I'm going to share with you why. So besides everything, I learned a bunch today, and we made significant improvements from yesterday. So obviously it's a different judge, so they don't get to see how far you've come, and they don't care. I mean, they're just judging what they see in front of them on that day. An overall theme for this ride is that he's a little unsteady, and that today is as a result of strength. So we just need to keep working on this position. One of the biggest things that I worked on from yesterday was getting him through his back. Yesterday he was not through, and there was lots of problems. So I really brought that into my cross-check for the warm-up, and it made for just an overall better feeling ride, even if it wasn't performed as well as it needs to be yet. So like on this lengthening, there's a little bit of hovering on the hind end, and he needs to engage more from behind. But to get that to happen today, all I had to do was relax my belly a little bit and then tighten my belly up to get him to come back. Where yesterday, forget about it. So that was a huge improvement. So here's a little bit of that head bobbing that you can see. That's more strength. But it's not really arguing, it's more just up and down. The shoulder in today, I actually had time to effect it, so we kept a much more steady angle. In our circle, we did a 10-meter circle instead of an 8-meter circle, but what I was able to do on that one was do just a hair of counter bend because he was trying to dive on the shoulder. So it's nice to be able to think a little bit while you're riding. On this half pass, he does these beautifully in practice when I get like 4 chances and I can really get it right. Here he didn't have any bend, because sometimes when I get bend it's haunches leading, so I'm still trying to find the feel of having the good bend versus haunches leading. So here again was our second lengthening, and I was just really happy because it was just a relax of my belly, and he went and he didn't break into a canter or any of that. So for us today that was better. Coming in, I also had a chance to think about using my corner. It's fun when you actually have time to think in a test. So it does happen eventually. And again, the angle was pretty good with the shoulder in. He needs to be more steady and consistent for sure, and keep his, he's bouncing between a little bit overflexed and a little bit above the bit. And part of that, or the big part of that, is just finding him the balance to get him all the way through his back. And this is where I have to step up my game as a rider, because I get him there but I don't keep him there, and so there's just that delay where I go, oh, get back there, oh, get back there. So the bouncing that you see is that was a really nice transition there. I like that. But the bouncing back and forth you see is him doing what horses do and me learning to ride. So that'll get better together as we both get better. So for these walk pirouettes yesterday, he stuck all the way around. I mean, he could have gotten kudos as a reining horse. And so today my focus was keep stepping those hind legs. So he did a little bit of a wide step there, lost his balance a little bit, but if you could see the video better, I'm going kick, kick, kick with my spurs saying, you keep walking, buddy, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. And that was my focus, and so that was better for today. Part of where we are is he's learning and I'm learning. So when we're in a test, we're not at the level of just putting on the perfect performance, because it's a learning experience for the both of us as we go. And that's one of Donzer's jobs in life, is I want to learn how to train a horse to St. George, not just ride it. So, doing it the hard way like a typical American. The walk has always been a pretty good thing for us. Now, picking him up right now, as I stepped up the game today of telling him he needs to be through his back, he definitely decided to have a little bit of opinion about that, and you're going to see that coming up here in a minute. He's not just like all happy going, oh yeah, I'll just go through my back and here I have my pole up here. So that canter half pass felt pretty decent. Coming back to the left, or sorry, to the right, it was a struggle. And this is something that we're just keep working on schooling. Obviously that movement tests the horse's ability to change the bend in their body. And so Donzer can do one or the other direction quite well. But when you add in the changing the bend, then that makes it a different game. Same thing with the pirouettes. In the warm-up, I had some just awesome pirouettes right off my seat, and we got into the arena here, and he was like, "What? Pirouette? I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy." And what I'm doing here is just saying, okay, pick up the counter canner because I don't want to lose the score for the change. So, and just always remember it's worth it because you don't get dinged for that. That's just, the judge sees it, so just fix it. This one was a little bit better, but then he just died. And what I'm deciding is what we're missing at this point, what needs to be added in the warm-up and when I'm schooling and we have all the time in the world, we get things right. But in the test, you have to do it at the letter, which, I mean, that's not news, but I need to figure out how to school that a little better. And then our changes, he just really tried to bolt off with me and take off. And right about here, he was like, if you push me a little bit more, I'm going to jump out of this arena. So I had to let him win that just a little bit because I wanted to continue with the test. And so I just asked for another 2 changes there. And in this corner coming up, I got a little extra bend and just wanted, my goal for the 3s was just to say, let's ride a straight line and you keep cantering and we'll just do it the best we can. Because we're going through the stage now where he can do his changes, but he really doesn't think he needs to do them when I ask. And you know, I just don't want to keep waiting forever, another couple years, till that gets all perfectly sorted out. So we just keep going. Coming around for our extended canter, a lot of the judges like this and say bold. It is a big canter, but his withers are staying up. But this judge said running, didn't like it. But obviously you need to slow down for that change, but it was clean. So that's where Donzer does help out when he wants to. And coming up center line, we did a little, that was almost a good halt. It's better than yesterday again. So I'm going to write up a blog post that goes into more detail, but thanks for being part of my process. Have a great day.